This is problem 3-40. Peggy Sue decided to enter her famous 5-alarm chili in her local chili cooking contest. Normally, she needs 5 tomatoes to make enough chili for her family of 7. How many tomatoes should she expect to use to make her famous recipe for 100 people? And when she gets to the contest, she realizes that she only packed 58 tomatoes. How many people can she expect to feed? All right, so by the sound of this sounds like a proportion problem. So we'll be setting up proportions. And the first proportion that we need to set up is the one that comes from normally she needs 5 tomatoes to make enough chili for her family of 7. So let's go ahead and write that down. So here's our problem number, 3-40. And we're working on A, and she needs 5 tomatoes for her family of 7 people. All right, but the problem that she has is she's going to need to make a recipe for 100 people. And so we need to make a ratio that matches up with this. So 100 people, and we don't know how many tomatoes, so we'll use X. So this is how we set up the proportion for A. 5 tomatoes to 7 people, X number of tomatoes for 100 people. Now we could use a giant 1, but 7 doesn't really multiply up to 100 very easily. So I think we'll go ahead and use cross multiplying. So when we cross multiply, it'll be the top times the bottom here. So 5 times 100 is equal to 7 times X. So 7X. All right, so this makes 500, and that's equal to 7X. And we're trying to get X by itself. And this is 7 multiplying X, so we're going to undo that multiplication by dividing. So we've just got X on this side now, and so we need to divide 500 by 7. So we'll use the calculator that we have in our book. So 500 divided by 7 is equal to 71.4, and we'll round up to 3. Okay, and now the second part of the problem, when she gets to the contest, she realized she only packed 58 tomatoes. So now she has to figure out how many people she can actually feed with that number of tomatoes. So we're still going to use that original ratio of 5 tomatoes to 7 people. Only this time we have the number of tomatoes, which is 58 tomatoes. But we don't know the number of people. So X becomes the number of people. And it looks like cross multiplying is the best way to do this. So 5 times X will be 5X. And that will be equal to 7 times 58. All right, so 7 times 58, 7 times 58 is equal to 406. So on this side, we've got 406, and then 5X on this side. And we've got to undo this multiplication to get X by itself by dividing by 5. So that turns into a giant 1. There's an X on this side. And over on this side, we've got 406 divided by 5. So 406 divided by 5, and that is equal to 81.2. So she can feed 81.2 people for B, and up here, that is going to be the number of tomatoes that she needs. Okay.